Okay, well, we'd call tonight's meeting to order. If able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Pape,
Here.
Councilmember Shavetta,
Here.
Councilmember Kosmeyer,
Here.
Councilmember Hands,
Here.
Councilmember Caldwell,
Here.
Councilmember Leahy,
Here.
Councilmember Ryder,
Here.
Councilmember Silvers,
Here.
Councilmember Yadrich.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item up this evening is public items. Members of the public are encouraged to use this time to make comments about matters that do not appear on the agenda. Comments about items on the regular agenda will be taken up as each item is discussed. Please note individuals making public comments will be limited to 5 minutes. In accordance with governing body rules of procedure, the city reserves the right to refuse public comments that are personal, impertinent, or slanderous. I did have one individual, Mr. Delgado, that has signed up this evening. Sir, if you'd like to come forward, give your name and address for the record.
My name is Raymond Delgado. My address is 8138 West 56 Terrace, Merriam, Kansas. I'm here talking about the common curves again. I'm prepared to submit video of people that just do not pay any attention to what they're doing. I know that there are 2 places in Merriam that have some type of safety concerns for the street. One is Goodman, all the way down from Johnson Drive to 54th, and also on Hardy. But I noticed the other day on Hardy, the speed hump is no longer there, so I would assume that you guys removed it for some other reason. I submitted a petition the last time I was here from all of my neighbors, or the majority of my neighbors, that would like to have the common curves removed and the street straightened out. So my first question is, what is the status of that from the petition that was signed? And how is that going with the city?
Right. Yeah, and it was brought to my attention, and I probably should have said this at the beginning. Now we do not interact as far as try to answer questions during this
Okay.
5-minute period. But our Public Works Director, Kumpke, is looking into that, and I'm sure that she'll be getting in touch with you at a later date. No, and I understand that some people don't realize that it doesn't seem like we're listening, but we are listening, and it's not an interactive period, but it's a time for the residents to come forward and voice their concerns, and yours has been duly noted, sir. I've been down that street several times recently.
I understand that.
Myself.
I seen you over at Mr. Fauser's house the other day, so I got you.
Gotcha.
I just want to, point it out again. Once again, I will submit video if I have to for the council to see on multiple occasions of different types of vehicles, even city vehicles that don't pay attention to them. It's probably because it's too narrow there. When the street is straight, it's fine. I can tell you that because I have an RV and I drive up and down that street to bring my RV home to load it up before my wife and I go on a trip. If I'm on the straight part of the street, I'm on my side. Traffic can pass on one side of me with not a problem at all. But I'm going through that common curve, just like the other big vehicles. You're crossing the lines. So it's dangerous. The street should be straightened out. And once again, my neighbors have voiced their opinion with the petition. We'd like to see something done if possible.
Thank you for coming forward, and we've duly noted, and we're looking into that, I can assure you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, that's the only person that has signed up currently, but does not preclude anyone from coming forward at this time that still has a public comment that they'd like to make. Okay, or would you like to come forward, sir? Yeah, okay. Please come forward and give your name and address for the record.
Rob Arnold, 6146 Hemlock. I just want to see if we can get an update on 61st Street again. So unfortunately, it seems like the construction people that are there now, they're not there every day. If they are, it's only for a couple hours, if that, even when it's a beautiful day out. So just love to get some new information about that. Hopefully it doesn't take till December 2nd when it's supposed to be completed, but 6 months is a little long for just that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Anyone else like to come forward this time? Okay. All right, we will close out the public comment section of tonight's meeting. Next item up is consent agenda. All items under this heading are considered to be routine by City Council, may be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the council members so request, in which case that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Are there any items that we have three this evening that anyone would like to have removed? Okay. I see nobody that is asking for anything to be removed, excuse me, 4 items. I would entertain a motion. Mr. Silvers.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that the council approve consent agenda items 1 through 4.
Okay, we have a motion. I have a second. Ms. Shadrich.
Mr. Mayor, second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kosmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodrich.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, now, next item up would be the mayor's report. And this is an item that we typically don't have, but it's exciting to actually talk about it this evening. And this was submitted by Chief McLaughlin, our police chief, and I would like to give the background information on this item at this time. It says to Mayor and City Council. Background information is on September 10th, 2025 at approximately 7:20 a.m. Merriam police officers were dispatched to a subject on top of the fence on West 75th Street overpass of I-35 highway. The subject appeared like he was going to jump and had one leg draped over the fence. Before officers arrived, a passing motorist, Jessica Compton Crocker, saw the man on the fence and stopped her vehicle to help. Jessica approached the man and spoke with him, offering her hand and convincing him to climb down from the fence. The man told officers he had intended to jump from the bridge that day. Thanks to Jessica's bravery, a tragedy was averted. Her actions serve as a reminder that community members play a pivotal role in keeping one another safe. The Merriam Police Department commends her for stepping in when seconds mattered most. And I understand Jessica is out here in our audience today, and we have a little plaque we'd like to present to you. If you could come to the podium up here, and I will meet you down there. And Chief, if you could come forward as well too, sir. Hometown Hero Award presented to Jessica Compton Crocker, 2025, from the Merriam campus.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Would you hold your, would you like to have your, Thank you for what you've done. Yes, yes, please do. Turn right around. Okay, thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for this. When I was first contacted about it, I really, sorry, this is an emotional thing. I didn't want the focus or the attention to be on me or what was done. To 100% the Holy Spirit and God's grace that allowed me to do that. My background is in counseling. I think the hardest part of that day, as I told the officers, was how many people just kept driving. And then obviously, if we remember, September 10th, there's no coincidences. And unbeknownst to me, I knew that September is Suicide Awareness Month, and September 10th is International Suicide Prevention Day. And then we all know the tragic events that wound up happening later on that afternoon. So I don't believe in coincidences of any of that. I'm so thankful for God that He had me there at that time. And I want to encourage everyone. I'm a school counselor, and I speak to kindergarten through 8th grade about the importance of being a neighbor. We're all made in God's image. We've got to step up and step out and not be so absorbed in getting into work and our own selfishness and what we need to do and take care of our fellow brothers and sisters. So thank you again so much for this, and I'm just so glad that I could bring attention to the need to just be better human beings and the need for better mental health services. So thank you all. It means a lot.
Thank you. Outstanding service. We appreciate you being part of our community. Okay, next item up this evening is a proclamation, and I have it right here. And you guys know how I love proclamations. So this one goes, whereas the city of Merriam was officially incorporated on October 23rd, 1950, marking a journey of 75 years of civic growth, community building, and public service. Whereas over these decades, Merriam has grown in character, infrastructure, and opportunity, cultivating strong neighborhoods, thriving local businesses, and a spirit of partnership and pride among its citizens. Whereas this milestone is an opportunity to pause and reflect on the accomplishments of past and present city leaders, staff, volunteers, community members who have contributed to Merriam's development. And whereas celebrating this anniversary helps unite our community, renew our commitment to civic engagement, and inspire future progress and innovation. Now therefore, I, Bob Pape, Mayor of the City of Merriam, Kansas, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim October 23rd, 2025, and the surrounding period as Merriam's 75th anniversary celebration, and encourage all residents, businesses, and community organizations to join in recognition of Merriam's heritage, present vitality, and future promise. Bob Pape, Mayor. Now, my understanding is we would like to have all the council come down in front, and we're going to actually hold this proclamation and get a picture. All right? You do that, please?
You guys can trade. We can? I want one with my name on it. Sorry, not sorry. Good.
Are you going to organize this, or you good? You want to show our hearts? You probably need to show our hearts, too. All right. Congratulations for 75th anniversary. Okay. Never let it be said I don't have heart. Here it is. All right. Well, let's see what else we have here for. Well, it looks like next thing is coming up is Employee Service Awards on the third quarter. I suppose you want me to come back down there?
Right back down here, Marion.
I'll be right back.
Get your steps in.
Okay.
Tonight's a great night for the city of Merriam, and that it's our third quarter recognition for our Employee Service Awards. So we recognize all of our employees that have hit a benchmark year, which we would call 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, some 35-year employees roaming around our city also. We used to do all of these in one night. We decided to split these up quarterly so we can really focus and celebrate the handful of folks that we do get to recognize for hitting one of those benchmarks. So we're going to recognize first with 5 years of service. He is unable to be here this evening, but we do want to recognize him, Nick Gladden, our Public Works, with 5 years of dedication. Also want to recognize in our Park and Rec, Brooke Howard, 5 years of dedicated service also. She was unable to be here. My understanding is here, sitting in the back. If we could get Jacob Slobodian up here from our Park and Rec, let's recognize him for 5 years of service.
Congratulations. This will be part two, Mary. I'll let you hold this. Thank you. Why don't you wait right here, and I think we'll get a group picture in just a second.
Also with 5 years of dedicated service to our Park and Rec, Jorge Cormac.
I'll let you hold this.
also Ali Al-Saeed, 5 years dedicated service. And last but not least, with 5 years of dedicated service to our Park and Rec, I feel like maybe the community center opened 5 years ago. Reese Phillips, Park and Rec, 5 years dedicated service. Next, with 10 years of dedicated service, he's unable to be here this evening, but 10 years of service to our police department, Jared Ruby. Also with 10 years of dedicated service to our police department, Kristen Jasinski.
That's awkward. Can you stand in the middle?
Thank you. No, wait right here. Where's your group?
10 years of dedicated service to our community development department, Tony Adamson.
Don't make her upset.
Wait right here.
And last but not least, with 25 dedicated years to our community development department and our city, David Easley, 25 years.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, now let's do a group one, right? Come on down. One more, okay. Balance this out, okay? All right, let's give a round of applause for these people. Congratulations.
Then also, we started adding the addition of some new hires that we've had in our third quarter, so we want to recognize 2 new hires that are here this evening. In the back, Lydia Elson with our police department. Her family, welcome her to the meeting. And then new to HR is Katie Taylor. Raise your hand, Katie. Our new employees, and it's a great night to be able to recognize long-term employees and new employees. It gives kind of the breadth of how much experience we have and how we continue to regreen the ranks of Team Merriam, make sure that we're staying relevant, and we get good folks on board to fill in for some of the ones that move on to the next phase once they've been here for a while. So once again, give it up to our existing.
So our employees that make the city the great city we are. Thank you all. Okay, I always like to kind of finish up my mayor's report with some things that's been going on in the last, between the last council meeting and this council meeting. Happens to be 3 weeks worth of material this time, so please bear with me. And I'll just read through these quickly. Councilmember Kozmeyer and I attended the Shining Mission Post Forum and were given the opportunity to tell voters what our vision for Merriam moving forward is, and several other council members were in the audience. I and Councilmember Kozmeyer attended the Northeast Chamber of Commerce Forum and were given the opportunity to discuss several topics of concern. Several of our council members were in the audience. I and several council members were at the ribbon cutting for Shake Shack. This was the last establishment to open at the Merriam Grand Station. The burgers and shakes are excellent over there. Please get over there and give them a try and welcome them to Merriam. That property has come a long way since the vacant Kmart. I attended the Johnson County Kiwanis installation of new officers. Luckily, I'm not one of them. But the civic organization does a lot to help our community. Feel free to send me I got to meet with everybody and talk to them about what Merriam is currently doing. If anybody's interested in Kiwanis, please see me after the meeting because we can always use new members. But I attended the legislative town hall meeting of our Kansas legislators. It's always good to hear directly from our legislators what they're doing at the Capitol. Obviously, we need to know what impacts our city and our residents. We need to communicate with them what our wishes are, and that's what I did. I attended the 50th anniversary of the Johnson County Med Act. This organization, one of the top-notch ambulance services in the country. They have the highest survival rates of code blue patients in the nation. We are truly lucky to live here in Johnson County and have them protecting us. I and several councilors attended Coffee with the Cop event at the Merriam Plaza Library. It's always a good opportunity to meet and interact with both our police officers and our residents. I was honored to be the judge at the Shawnee Mission North Homecoming Parade. The floats were all great and had entries from elementary, junior high school, as well as Shawnee Mission North clubs and sports teams. I have to say, I gave my vote to Crestview, not because I attended there, but they had a great Wizard of Oz theme going. I and several council attended the Tim Murphy Art Council showing. It's important to show our support for the arts and give us the opportunity to meet and interact with the public in a fun, casual environment. You also get refreshments down there too, thanks to our Director Slocum. I and several council attended the Merriam Drive event. This annual event with games, food, trucks, bands is just one of the things that makes Merriam the great city we are. Everyone enjoyed themselves, gave us an opportunity to interact with our community. Thanks go out to Director Slocum and her staff for putting together another great Park and Rec event. Council member attended Ward 4 block party. These block parties not only bring neighbors together so that they can get to know each other better, it gives council an opportunity to meet with residents and find and share what is going on in our city and finding out what their concerns are as well. I attend the OPFD retirement breakfast, share with them everything's happening in Merriam. I and several council attended the Shawnee Mission Education Foundation breakfast. This fundraising event helps to advance the educational goals of the district. The students go all out showcasing their achievements. I'm happy to report that we have future leaders who will accomplish great things. We also got a nice thank you letter from them too, by the way. I'll share with the council later. I and several council attended the National Night Out Against Crime event at Waterfall Park. Not only did we get hot dogs and refreshments and games with our officers, we got to rededicate council member Julius McFarland Fields with the unveiling of a new monument sign. Mr. McFarland's wife, Marzella, and his 5 children and the other family were in attendance. Mr. McFarland, Councilman McFarland, was the first African-American to hold public office in Johnson County back in 1973. He served on the Merriam Council for almost 30 years. He was instrumental in forming the Johnson County chapter of the NAACP and served several years as its president. Councilmember McFarland was truly a leader who helped shape what Merriam is today. He helped us to make us the diverse and inclusive community that we are. His legacy will live on. I and several council attended the Public Works Luncheon. It's always good to recognize our employees' efforts and get to know them on a personal level. We wore pink in recognition of breast cancer awareness and raised some funds all from our city employees for that terrible disease. Thanks goes out to Director Kumke and her staff for providing that event. We appreciate it. I attended the Johnson and Wyandotte County Council of Mayors event. It was hosted by DeSoto Mayor Rick Walker. This monthly event gives all of us an opportunity to discuss what's going on in each of our cities, and we often talk about our common problems. We had Johnson County Sheriff Roberson, Wyandotte County Sheriff Soptic, and U.S. Marshal Miller for this, from this area to speak to us about the ICE operations that's going on in our county. We also had legal staff from both counties to discuss how our interaction with federal officials could have an impact on our future federal funding. It does not appear at this time that any of us would be impacted. ICE is not required to notify local authorities if a raid is occurring in our city. A little update on that. I and Councilmember met with Ms. Gard to prepare tonight's agenda. U.S. Congressman Sharice Davids reached out to me to inquire whether the federal government shutdown has had any adverse impact on Merriam. It is nice to know that she truly cares about Merriam and that she wants us to stay in contact, and we'll be meeting with her later this week. Thanks go out to our staff and several council members who worked the paper shredding as recycling event. I went by and dropped off some of my papers and as well. I got a little article here that I want to read about that event. Okay, the city hosted the annual community recycling event this past Saturday at Nations Holdings. 8 neighboring cities participated in this event. Volunteers collected eyeglasses, electronics, and paper documents for shredding. 457 cars came through during this 3-hour event, with the city of Fairway bringing in the most cars at 93. Merriam finished 3rd behind Roland Park with 80 cars. Thank you to all the volunteers that helped with this event and our business partner, Nations Holdings, for allowing us to use their parking lot. So we appreciate Nation Holding, obviously, right here in Merriam. Okay, and I'm almost done, I promise. Okay, council member attended the Ward 3 block party. That was over in Meyer Estates. These events are what makes Merriam a great place to live, and it gives our elected officials an opportunity to interact with our residents. Council members and staff attended the 808's Coffee Talk and they discussed a Merriam Grand Marketplace, kind of what's going on. And a council member attended a leadership webinar, actually increasing their leadership abilities. And that's all I have. Is there anything I missed from the council standpoint? That was quite a lot. All right. Okay, thank you. That concludes my mayor's report. Okay. Next item up is council items. Consider approval and agreement with Olson Inc., who's going to be coming to the podium for that. Okay, Director Company's coming forward at this time.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Our CIP includes funds for the 2026 mill and overlay, which includes streets in the Quail Creek subdivision. The original scope was a 2-inch mill and overlay. However, driving the streets and looking at the pavement, it was really degraded. So we decided to take some pavement cores, and we found out that there's insufficient asphalt thickness. We did encounter some of that in our mill and overlay this year, so we kind of knew to kind of look for that. And we did repair that and install more asphalt in that area, but this is overall throughout the subdivision. We really think that with only that minimal asphalt, we're not going to be able to do a mill and overlay because we could remove the pavement, and then the trucks that go back in pavement, they can't, it doesn't, the base doesn't always hold, so it settles. The other thing is that Water One is planning to do a water main replacement, and when they do that, that degrades the pavement too. So our recommendation would be to go ahead and do a full depth reconstruction. What that includes is removing the existing pavement down to 6 inches and then adding a cement treated base, tilling that in, and excuse me. And then it's a little more disruptive than a mill and overlay because a mill and overlay, you just mill off the top 2 inches, but here we have to till it in and then vehicles drive on it. And so it usually does harden up, but if it rains, then the contractor has to go back and, re-till it. But we'll put in stipulations in the contract so that they only have a certain amount of time once they remove it and till it in to pave it back. So we have a pretty good plan, and we'll design phasing and only allow a certain number of streets to have the milling and the tilling before we pave it and move on to the next one. So it is disruptive, but we think that if we can get the adequate base and asphalt on the surface, then that will extend the life of the pavement, less frequency of maintenance, and reduce future maintenance costs. So Olson, we work with them, and they have a scope and fee of $290,517. The design fee exceeds our original cost of design if it was just a mill and overlay, because a lot of times we'll do that primarily in-house. But luckily, we had a lot of really good bids this year and budget savings, so we believe that we can cover the design, and then we have funds left over from our 49th Street project and our 2025 street and storm improvements project that we can likely cover that excess cost. But once we get to design and we get a better estimate, we'll know better, and we'll come back to the council and make sure that, you're okay with expending the funds before we bid that and approve that. As I mentioned, Water One will be replacing the water main. We met with them. They want to start in December, and we made it pretty clear that if you start, you need to be done by April, and we've given them a little extra time in our budget, so they feel confident they can do that. So that will help minimize the disruption. I mean, it'll be a lot of disruption at the beginning, but then we won't have to come back. There's been a lot of water main breaks in that area, so by replacing the main and replacing the pavement, this should last for a while, and we won't have to go back in. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Director Kumke? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Hans.
Do we have any awareness of how Water One communicates with people when they get started and all that? Just saw an article this evening about an Overland Park Street project, and folks were upset with how long things lasted, of course, and the communication. So I really want to zero in on that.
So we did talk to them, and they said what they do is they send out a letter at the beginning, and then if you sign up for Notified JOCO is how they update people, and especially for like when they have to shut off water services, that's really good. So that's how they provide their notification.
So we can help encourage that, please.
Yes.
I will personally, but
Yes.
if everyone can, that would be great.
I was
Okay.
going to ask similar question just because of our experience on 61st Street. So, I mean, we haven't been working on that project since May. Water One was working on it from May to August, and we've been working on it since August. So I think any communication and noticing we can do on top of what Water One is doing is helpful, even though I know this isn't my ward, but just
So the other thing that what we want to do is working closely with communications to be more robust on our website and allowing people to, we haven't worked out all the details yet, but signing up for updates, or they may be updated on the website, so we could also, while I don't want to speak for Water One, we could provide some updates there so that people know what's going on. So we're trying to enhance our communication so that the citizens know, more. Like every time we send out a schedule, then all of a sudden, oops, it rained and it changes. So we're trying to do that better
You
so
have
that
to
people
build-
can be
build
communicated.
that in.
Yeah.
Because when we saw the map, it is so extensive, it's going to be really awkward for people to get in and out of everywhere.
So what we're planning to do is, we'll phase it, and then the 69th Street, which is the main way in and out, we want to phase that so that that's when school's out, and they have to get that done before school starts again. So we're trying to plan ahead as best as we can so that we can limit disruption to the residents.
Yeah, and just so we're all on the same page, that's
Yes.
great.
Go ahead.
yeah, sorry. I have another question. Why would it have been done like this? Why wasn't it done the correct way? I know you weren't here. I'm assuming it was a contractor that we shouldn't hire again.
Well, these were, a lot of our streets were installed or constructed in the 50s and 60s, and they just didn't have the standards then. We're not alone. There's a lot of cities with these older streets. We didn't have the standard. I don't think they inspected as robustly to see, and so you just see this in really older neighborhoods.
But this was repaved in 2012.
So yes, and so there was a mill and overlay, and
The due diligence wasn't done.
we've
probably.
seen, it lasted for 13 years, but we'd like to get 20 to 25. So if we can do it right, and I'm not saying we did it wrong because it worked. It's just we're trying to maximize our costs and our deferred maintenance. And if we can fix it now, then in the future, we won't have to worry about that. So.
Any other questions for Dr. Kumke? Okay, it looks like I think it's time for a motion then, if we'd like to move forward with this. Is that a hand raise?
Sure.
Go ahead, Ms. Haynes.
I move that the council approve an agreement with Olson Incorporated for design services for the 2026 Mill and Overlay Project in the amount of $290,517 for design services.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second, Mr. Connell?
Yes, I'd second that.
Okay, we have a motion second, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodrich.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kosmeyer.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item up this evening is consider an assignment of rights from Walzer Automotive Group. Looks like we got Mr. Engel coming to the podium.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Next item on the agenda is consider an assignment of rights from Walzer Automotive Group LLC to Walzer Real Estate LLC. As you'll recall, on August 25th, 2025, City Council adopted Resolution 969, which is in your packet, expressing the city's intent to issue IRBs to the benefit of Walzer Automotive Group LLC for an automobile dealership at 7220 West Frontage Road. As a reminder, those IRBs are for a sales tax exemption on construction materials. For when they build that facility, they would receive a tax exemption certificate. As development of that property continues, Walzer Automotive Group LLC has requested the City Council approve an assignment of the benefits spelled out in that resolution of intent to Walzer Real Estate, which is the development entity that falls underneath Walzer Automotive.
It does not change the business deal. It does not change any of the benefits. It simply assigns the benefits from Walzer Automotive to Walzer Real Estate. If you'll recall, we did this recently at Merriam Grand Station, where many of the deals were hashed out with Drake Development that would then later be assigned to Merriam Grand Station X, Merriam Grand Station Lofts, MGDX LLC. It's the same thing. It's the same parent company. It's just their real estate company that develops all of the properties. So there is no change to the deal. It's just assignment of rights. It was the resolution 969 and the resolution tonight were drafted by Jacob Lowry with Kutek Rock, who is our bond counsel. Happy to answer any questions about that.
Any questions for Mr. Engel? Questions? Okay, I see no questions. I'd entertain a motion. Go ahead, Ms. Shadridge.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council approve a resolution assigning the rights of resolution number 969 from Watzler Automotive Group LLC to Watzler Real Estate LLC.
Okay, I have a motion. I have a second. Go ahead, Ms. Hans.
I'll second that.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kozemeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item up is consider the 2026 flag display calendar. And looks like we have Ms. Gard at the podium.
Good evening. Tonight you're being asked to consider the 2026 flag display calendar. If you recall, the City Council passed a policy last year to display 4 flags outside in the Municipal Plaza, just out front here of City Hall, for various reasons as requested by Council. Here is an example of that from last year in which we displayed the pride flags. There were a number of requests this year. Multiple were duplicates, so we ultimately had 7 requests. You can see them here. The ones outlined in yellow are the ones that we displayed last year, but there were 5 additional requests on top of that. As far as the schedule, it's outlined in your packet. There are a few overlapping requests in which we will fly multiple different types of flags during that time period. However, there's enough flag displays to account for all of the requests that City Council made. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from Ms. Gard? Okay, I see no questions. I would entertain a motion. Who would like to make that motion? Ms. Hans?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council approve the 2026 flag display calendar.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Ms. Shadridge.
Mr. Mayor, I second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kozemeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Looks like Ms. Gard is going to handle the single hauler update.
I sure am. I don't have too much of an update for you all since the last time we discussed this. I believe the last time that we discussed, GFL had become a single provider here in Merriam. So if individuals want to sign up for that service before our contract goes into effect next year, they're certainly able to do so. Not on the city's contract. It's just going to be a separate one-on-one contract. However, everybody will switch over on November 1st of 2026. And in addition to that, we're working on the winter-spring highlights that will go to all residents and businesses, and Single Hauler is the cover story. We'll get a good picture of some trash bins for the cover, but it's the cover story to provide multi-pages of information for our residents. It'll come out around Thanksgiving. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Go ahead, Mr. Silvers.
Just a quick question. So I got back from vacation on late Wednesday night, and Thursday I saw a GFL truck going through the neighborhood, and so I thought I had my days messed up in my head. Do you know Are they switching up days now that they're picking up new customers?
They haven't disclosed to us what days they're picking up the individual contracts, and we haven't set up our pickup schedule for when we go on contract, but I can certainly ask them that question.
I will say, since we're in the same ward, my pickup day is Thursday now instead of Wednesday. So I've already switched over service. It's only been a week, I think a week, and dropped off the bins just fine and picked up my first pickup last week just fine.
That's great.
Great.
I, coming back from vacation, I lost complete track of time and date, so I got really confused.
Right.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Kosmeyer.
I'm currently in the process of switching over. Really excited to do that. A lot of my neighbors are also really excited to do that. And when I signed up on the phone, they told me, or it sounded to me like everybody north of Johnson Drive is on Thursdays. So.
All right. Think you must have covered that one well. Thank you. All right, looks like next item up is a October CIP update. We got Director Kumpke coming to the podium.
The October CIP update is in your packet, and I want to highlight a couple projects because I feel like we've made some good progress this week. 49th Street, if you haven't been down there lately, Phase 1, which is Schweitzer to Knox, has been paved, and they're working on trying to clean it up and get sod done this week. There's a couple little small areas that they need to work on sidewalk, but for the most part, that's substantially done, and they've hired a subcontractor to come in and do the concrete work because I think they overbid their work, and so they were having a hard time with the concrete crew, so they brought somebody else in. They've got all the north side of the curb in Phase 2 completed. They're working on driveways this week, so I feel like hopefully we can make up some of that time and get back on track. The 2025 street and drainage project, we should be completing all the concrete by the end of this week, and then if all goes well, they should be paving by the end of next week and then working on sod. So we're getting close to completing that project as well, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Go ahead, Mr. Silvers.
Mine is actually more of a statement. Living just a block from all that construction, I just have to say it's been pretty amazing seeing the transformation. We had someone at one point come to our council meeting and who stated that no one walks up and down that street, and questioned why we were wasting money putting sidewalks on both sides and doing this rehabilitation of our street. And I gotta tell you, like, even before the sidewalks were completed, my wife and I were walking up and down that street, and it was so nice not having to cross over multiple times walking from Schweitzer to Knox because the sidewalk ended and started up on the other side of the street. This was definitely a gain for the city, and I'm not sure if we're doing it in other parts in the future, but it's definitely something that's moving Merriam forward.
Good. Thank you.
Anyone else have anything for Director Kumpke? All right.
Thank
you
you.
for the update. I'm sorry. Oh, yes. Yeah, please come forward, sir. Give your name and address for the record.
Billy Crone, 6633 Wed Street. So I have been speaking to a lot of neighbors as of late. And one thing that came to mind listening to these construction projects, there seems to be a good amount of subsidence of the land when sidewalks go in and curbs are redone. And there's been many lots who have told me that they have like low spots now, that water pools, they're afraid of erosion issues. And I think it would be a good idea to go back like maybe a year after, or a year and a half even, because it takes time for the ground to settle and to inspect and to repair subsidence when these sorts of constructions go on. Anyways, just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, let's see. We're getting to the end here, but we have, in our informational items, we have public, oh, wait, excuse me. Before we go on, I guess, well, unless somebody has any questions concerning the Public Art Committee minutes or the Parks and Rec, and then I'll have Mr. Engel speak. You need to talk to any of the directors on those items? It was in our packet. Okay. Mr. Engel, do you have anything else from staff?
Just to echo your thanks for our volunteers, Merriam Drive Live, and our recycling event. We can't do those without staff and staff volunteers and resident volunteers. Those are great events that we're able to do. Do want to remind everybody we have our 75th birthday on Thursday, the 23rd of October from 4 to 8 at the marketplace. Please tell your neighbors, come out and meet your neighbors and celebrate 75 years of our history. Also, of note, we have large item pickup from the 20th to the 24th. So we will adhere to the same schedule that we always do, but that's available on our website. But 20th to 24th is large item pickup. Happy to answer any questions you have of me.
Any questions, Mr. Engel? Go ahead, Ms.
I
Haynes.
don't have a question, but I have a statement because I really enjoy my job at recycling. I get to greet everyone as they come in and ask what city they're from. And if they were from Merriam, I said, do you know about the anniversary or the birthday party? And it was amazing how many people knew and said, I have it on my calendar. So I'm really, really liking the communications that are going out. Thanks.
Awesome. We'll share that with the communications team.
Any other question, Mr. Engel? Okay. Well, seeing none, we have no other executive session or nothing else this evening to come for us, Mr. Engel?
No, sir.
Okay, I would entertain a motion. Ms. Shadrich.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
We have a motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Haynes?
I second that.
Madam Clerk?
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.